back and get ready to have the most fun you ever had with an electronic device. All right, everybody, welcome out to the Get On With It Sports Show. It is Wednesday, July the 6th, 2022. Jersey Johnny coming at you. With me, as always, is none other than Mr. RadioPete and Mr. Harry Lug Nutz. Say hello, gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello, gentle people. How was everyone's fireworks?
Fireworks were good. Fireworks were good. Saw a couple. Didn't see any on Friday. Saw some Saturday. Saw some Sunday. Didn't see any on Monday, except maybe like local ones, from the backyard, and people shooting them off, a couple streets away or whatever. But yeah, they were fun. I mean, barbecues were good. So
I hate to say this, but I'm pretty much over fireworks, except for like the really big displays, that the professional ones they put on.
Oh yeah, well that's really. I mean, I don't.
No, but I mean, we have a couple of like we have our summer fairs. A lot of the fire departments have fairs, and
Right.
St. Anthony's has a fair, and they do a pretty good job with fireworks and stuff. For a local display, it's pretty big and whatever. But I'm just like, whatever.
You can only go ooh,
Yeah, I mean,
so many times.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
So I don't know. That's just me slowly dying inside, but.
Gotcha. Well, I mean, it's not like it's not like it was when you were a kid, right? And you're sitting there. It's time for fireworks. Yeah, you got to go and you got to see them and sit on the blanket and look up. And
well, but even if you don't I know most people are like, come on, let's go watch them.
Right.
And they watch it. Mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know. I have to get up.
Mm-hmm.
I just got comfortable.
Wow.
I just got comfortable.
Stand
the
up.
movie's starting. I got my cold drink. I got to get up. I got to go outside. I got to walk down the street, crane my neck. It's not worth it.
You guys are boring. I lit my backyard on fire and played Ted Nugent.
There you go.
Well,
Did you wear the loincloth and jump around singing?
I didn't say I played him. I played.
I thought you said you played.
Yeah.
I'm
playing Ted Nugent in a remake of Joseph and the Technicolor Dreamcoat.
There you go. And it's Teddy in the Technicolor loincloth.
That's actually right. It's a remake of Mr. Smith Goes to Washington.
That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Only this time it's the gathering of the idiots with a bow and arrow.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, but it was fun. How was your 4th? Did you barbecue? What did you do?
Who are we asking here?
Both of you.
Oh,
either of you.
Fantastic.
One of you start. There you go.
Yeah, it was good. The usual family get together.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Fair enough. Cool.
I told you what I did. I lit my backyard on
fire. You've been played Ted Nugent.
Ted Nugent. Yeah.
There you go.
Threw in a little Night Ranger, and
Ted Nugent back and forth.
Called it a day.
Little cat scratch fever, followed by Sister Christian.
No, what was that other group?
Wait, what was the other Night
Damn
Rangers?
Yankees. No damn Yankees.
Damn Yankees.
There you go.
Damn
of course.
Damn Yankees.
Of course. That's right. I had my 8-track of Damn Yankees out. It was fantastic.
Actually,
did they make 8 tracks of Damn Yankees? I think they were done by then.
Threw in some 38 special, and
there you go. There were 8 tracks for
the Marshall Tucker band, and
oh jeez,
and then put
get that flute going. You always have to get that flute.
And then put Freebird on repeat for the rest of the night.
Do you guys have Access TV?
Yes.
They had.
I can't speak for Harry, but I do.
Well, I only wanted one of you to answer. If you did, well, it's pretty good.
I watched the Dan Rather show on.
I think it's
You'd rather watch Dan?
It's a British channel, I believe, because they do a lot of
They're the people who they're the company. They're the company that rapes you for charges on concert tickets.
Right. No, this is AXS.
It's AX.
It's pronounced Access. Yeah,
I know. It's the same.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay.
It's a company that rapes you for.
Well,
tickets,
they're not raping me for charging me to watch the TV channel.
No,
so
and they have some pretty good documentaries. There was one on last night. Was about A&R.
It's very music oriented. Dan Rather's show is actually it's really good interview show.
Is that the big interview, right?
Yeah.
Is that on that channel?
Some of them are bigger than others.
Dan Aykroyd.
Dan Aykroyd.
He does not do one of them. No, he doesn't.
That's right.
Dan Rather. No, he does do. There was the one he did with Geddy Lee was actually very good.
Well, of course.
I mean, a monkey could have interviewed Geddy Lee and it would have been a great episode. But actually,
we've had problems before with the monkey interviewing Geddy Lee. He's got a lot of wine and a lot of expensive bases, and the monkey just.
Well, that's how the Vapors album was written by them.
Yeah, I mean, Fox News at Night is a monkey interviewing people, right?
Several of them. But they have some good documentaries.
Oh, jeez.
Access TV.
On that note,
don't buy tickets from them, but watch their.
You have to buy tickets from them,
On that, I'm going to open my beer of the evening.
It's a Dan Rather.
It's a Dan Rather exclusive. It's called Mr. Aykroyd, is what it's called. Aykroyd. It's close. It's awkward, not Aykroyd. Awkward Tan Lines. It's
there you go. Look at that.
By that brewery, Coastal Brew Works. There you go.
Congratulations. This is your third
beer. Yes.
Third beer, huh? What's the next one?
Next one will be out in August.
And what is the Coastal Tan Line? Awkward Tan Line?
Awkward Tan Lines is a Vienna lager. So the first
Vienna lager.
The Vienna lager. Yes.
Is it like a Vienna cookie?
Yeah, you could eat Vienna cookies with the Vienna lager. Why not? So it's got it's nice, got nice toasted bread and some, fresh.
Really, there's toasted
toffee.
Bread in there?
Well, no, the aroma is like that of toasted bread and fresh toffee and stuff like that. And it tastes. It's got bready notes and nice smooth caramel. It's really tasty.
Bready notes.
There you go.
There you go. Look at that head. The beer's not bad either.
Exactly. So I got to take the obligatory picture that I always take of the beers that I consume.
Beers on the show.
Beers on the show.
Tonight's guest.
Tan Line. Tonight's guest is Sue. She's the model for that picture.
Now, did you think about having like a seagull, maybe pulling at part of her bathing suit, or you might have got sued by Mr. Coppertone?
Yeah, the dog pulling at her bikini bottom.
That's child pornography. This is a grown woman.
Yeah. Well, if you notice, she's actually not wearing a top to her bikini.
Oh, okay. Yeah, you're right. It's already gone. So
it's gone because she's got.
Yeah. So if you had a seagull pulling on her bottom, she'd probably get sued.
Yeah, pretty much.
By the pedophile Coppertone people.
There you go. So, cheers.
Cheers.
No idea where your brain goes to sometimes. What do you have there? A fine beverage from 7-Eleven?
Yeah.
You drinking coffee?
Well, this has actually been augmented with a K-cup.
Vodka?
Caramel macchiato.
Gotcha.
You got a caramel macchiato from 7-Eleven?
No, I got 7-Eleven coffee. I drank about half of it. And then when I came home, we had some K-cups.
K-cups? What is a K-cup?
The Keurig. The Keurig cups.
Oh.
Keurig. So I had about half a cup empty, so I made a...
When I think K-cups, I'm like, you ain't fitting a K-cup in that little glass.
Well, no. There is a little bit of milk in there.
There you go.
Hey down.
K-cup would need a bigger vessel than that, that glass right there. So, in any event, all right.
All right, top 10 K-cups.
Top 10 K-cups of all time. All right. First of all, we were remiss last week on the show. I did want to bring it up the day before last week's show, so we'll bring it up now. So it's a week old. Not that news, but it's not that bad. The day before last week's show was the 30th anniversary of the release of the film A League of Their Own.
Oh wow!
So and they did.
That was with Dustin Hoffman and Bobcat Goldthwait.
Right, exactly. That was just a league of their own, the two of them. Nobody else.
Everybody. Well, I mean, they are in a league of their own.
Exactly. No, that was the movie. Obviously, Penny Marshall directed. Tom Hanks was in it. Gina Davis.
There's no crying in baseball.
No crying in baseball. Right. Exactly. SNY actually. Sweeney Murdy on SNY. He actually interviewed. He had 8 of them on. He did the 8 of them there. It was Gina Davis, Lori Petty, the woman that played Betty Spaghetti. There's a few of them.
Rob Reiner's daughter, right? Tracy Reiner.
Maybe. Yeah, it's possible. It could be. Yeah. There you go. Yeah. Why not? So that would be Penny Marshall's daughter too, right? She was married to Rob Reiner.
Sure.
And
Tom Petty, I thought he died.
No, Lori Petty.
Lori Petty, there you go.
Lori Petty.
She was was that kind of a super-ish hero she played? Like
Tank Girl.
Tank Girl. There
Tank
you go.
Girl, yeah. Yeah, exactly. And then there were a few others too. Marla Hooch, all of them. But they did an interview. It was actually pretty interesting. It's still up on SNY's Facebook page. It was from last week for 8 days ago. But anyway, bottom line, it's 30th anniversary last week of the movie A League of Their Own. So 30th anniversary of There's No Crying in Baseball.
Couldn't get Rosie O'Donnell or Madonna, huh?
Rosie O'Donnell and Madonna were not available for that interview. No, they were not. I would have made a point to get them, but maybe we'll get them on our show.
No Tom Hanks.
No Tom Hanks. No Rosie O'Donnell. No, but Gina Davis was there.
Gina Davis doesn't age, by the way.
No, not so much. Not so much. So anyway, I just wanted to bring that up. On that note, speaking about baseball movies, this picture was taken last week. Here is a picture depicting the greatest power hitter in baseball history posing for a photo with Aaron Judge.
Yes. See the humor? There's another guy named Aaron Judge.
No.
What's his name? Smalls?
Smalls from The Sandlot.
You're killing me, Smalls.
You're killing me, Smalls. So I thought that was funny. I just want to bring that up anyway. So.
Did that guy make a couple of porno films, or was that somebody else?
No, that was somebody else. That was
okay.
That was Webster.
No, it wasn't Webster.
I'm sorry, Gary Coleman.
It was no. You're thinking about the kid that was in The Toy and also in A Christmas Story.
It was Urkel. No, you know who made it? Was Dustin Diamond.
Well, yeah, he did. But
the kid that was in A Christmas. Wait, well, hold on a second. The kid that was in The Christmas Story did
not
a porno?
Peter Billingsley. No, the kid that played Flick, the one that stuck his tongue to the flagpole.
Okay. Well, that makes sense.
There you go. And he was also in The Toy. Remember the movie The Toy with Richard Pryor?
Yeah.
He was Master Bates.
Got it.
Urkel's porno is not bad.
Urkel did a porno?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no.
And the name of it is "Did I Do That?" Right?
I have no idea.
That's how it ends.
I think it's him and Alf.
Just a massive spraying of
just lots of suspenders and fur.
Exactly. Right.
The Monet is ruined. Did I do
that?
That's a boner funeral.
Anyway, on that note,
by the way, welcome to the Get On With It Sports Podcast, folks.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Where we talk about 7-Eleven coffee and
it's going to be happening any minute now.
Random celebrity, C-list celebrity porn.
I mean,
we get,
just two of our many specialties.
Exactly.
And let me tell you, it's all downhill from here.
It's exactly. This is the highlights of the show right now.
Yeah, wait till we get into the deep conversation of the best defenseman of the of the Vancouver Canucks in the late 70s.
Didn't have 70s Canucks.
The 70s Canucks, yeah. So on that note, didn't have this on the show. Didn't have this on the show a couple weeks ago. Interesting. I don't know where that went, but didn't have this on the show a couple weeks ago. But did want to put this up. Father's Day was a couple weeks ago, and here we see a picture of Eli Manning, picture with one of his sons. So here we go. For those of you listening to the audio podcast, it's Eli Manning shaking hands with Tom Brady.
Hey, did you see that? I think it's Eli's nephew is going to Texas.
He's going to Texas. He committed to Texas. Yes, he did. So that's going to be 4 Mannings.
What's his name? Like Colby or something?
Oh, Arch.
There you go.
And he's a quarterback too.
He's a quarterback. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it'll be so he in 4 years he makes the NFL. There'll be 4 Mannings that made the NFL over 3 generations.
4 out of like 12 of them, and they're not doing that great.
Well, 4 out of 12. No, it's Cooper's the only one that didn't make it there because he had.
There was no other sons there.
Yeah, just Cooper, Peyton.
And how about this new generation?
They're all younger. Arch is the oldest.
Arch is the oldest. So we might have more.
Yeah.
Peyton have a son.
Well, Peyton does have sons. Yeah, Peyton does 1 or 2. Yeah, and well, I mean, Eli's son made it to the NFL. There you go, right there.
That's right.
He's won like 7 Super Bowls.
Yeah, did pretty well. Couldn't beat his old man, but
he's
still
somehow older than his father.
Exactly.
But looks 30 years younger. Which is all true.
There's nothing wrong. There's nothing false about what we're saying here, folks.
No. The space-time continuum has been broken.
Absolutely. So anyway, okay. So on to some interesting things. One thing I want to bring up in baseball before we do our quiz tonight is I just want to put this graphic up. Let's look at it for a second.
I love when we
knew
graphics.
we knew this was happening, right?
The graphic?
We knew it was coming up.
I knew at some point we'd have a graphic again.
I just mean generally the royal we, like all like the country, like the baseball fans, Major League Baseball fans, right?
Okay.
Throw this up. We all know this was happening, but it's even crazier when you see it all in one graphic. In 2015, the Pirates traded away Charlie Morton. In 2018, they traded away Garrett Cole. In 2018, they traded away Tyler Glasnow. In 2018, they traded away Shane Baz. In 2021, they traded away Joe Musgrove. In 2021, they traded away Jameson Taillon. And in 2021, they traded away Clay Holmes. And these 7 pitchers were on the Pirates. Could you imagine if these 7 pitchers were on the Pirates right now?
On behalf of the Yankees, who have 3 of them,
right?
Thank you.
There you go. So,
thank you.
But yeah,
and the top 2 on the Yankees right now are not named Garrett Cole.
No, they're not. Are they? So
maybe we should have maybe a few of the Major League Baseball teams should just become a minor league. Just take
they already are, really. I mean,
I would love to see the Pirates, though. But I would love to see the Pirates. I mean, the Pirates were like one of my favorite teams as a really young kid. I mean, think about those. Yeah. It wasn't that long ago.
Yes, it was.
They weren't relative.
Years ago.
It was
well,
40 plus years ago.
But they were a contending team.
No, they were. And I'll give you this much too. And I know this has nothing to do with the team, but their ballpark is one of the most beautiful ballparks I've ever been to. PNC Bank Park. PNC Park is
yeah, but I mean,
gorgeous. I love watching. I love going out to Pittsburgh and watching baseball games there.
It's just
such a great park.
But what is going to change the way they do things and bring them back to contention? Right? New ownership, right?
Yeah, that's what it would be.
So,
or general manager.
We've talked about this particularly in football. That takes decades.
Sure. Well, you know what? It didn't have to take decades because if you had those 7 pitchers as your pitching staff, and you didn't trade them away,
but how much would those guys be making?
See the difference though, between
as much as they could if they were all on the Mets. And Cohen was their owner.
No, if they were all on the Pirates, your payroll would be $100 million, and that's
the Pirates, the Orioles, and the Royals are like the 3 lowest.
You could say the same thing about the A's. You could do a list of guys that the A's have traded away. It's the smaller market teams. They're constantly trying to get the most they can for their best players. Look, the Pirates at least had them. They drafted them or got them through trades.
Right.
When you talk about like the New York Giants, it's guys the Giants have missed on draft day. Guys the Giants have not signed.
So I think just create, like the Italian soccer leagues. You have the A League and you have the B League.
We have a minor league. We have too many minor league teams. That's the problem.
Yeah, but these would be minors within the majors.
The Mets record would be 20 games worse if you didn't have the Marlins, the Pirates, and the fill in the blank.
So the competition would be better.
The Marlins, the Pirates, and the fill in the blanks.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Phillies, whatever other team is going to be marginal. Look, the Pirates weren't that bad a couple of years ago. They've had some. They're pretty good at finding talent. They don't have the ability to hold on to it. Unless
I would say they don't have the will.
Yeah, that's true. You could say the same thing about the Rockies. You could say the same thing about the A's. The A's are much better at leveraging the talent that they have.
Right.
There's a number of organizations like that.
This is
the
true.
Pirates are definitely up there.
Yeah.
It's a good pitching staff.
That's a great pitching staff. I mean, look at it. I'll put it up again. Look at that. Charlie Morton.
Where's Shane Baz? Is he still on Tampa Bay?
Yeah, I believe so.
Okay.
This is where everybody is. Charlie Morton's on Atlanta.
That's what I thought.
Garrett Cole, Jameson Taillon, and Clay Holmes are on the Yankees. Tyler Glasnow and
he's pretty amazing too.
And Shane Baz are both on the race, and Joe Musgrove's down in San Diego.
They have a collective 3.15 ERA. That's crazy.
Amazing. And look at it, the combined record of these 7 pitchers since the trade is 193 and 80.
Who has the worst haircut, though? That's what I want to know.
Definitely
Shane Baz. That's
No, they all have hats on, so it's hard
that's
to
some
tell.
weird.
I would say
Bob
Baz.
going on
I think
there.
Tyler Glasnow has the best haircut. It's definitely.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, that's definitely that's vintage Jacob deGrom right there.
Well, the Creed hair doesn't look good under a baseball hat, you know.
This is true. This is true. So, all right. Let's do the quiz.
All right.
Actually, before we do the quiz, let's do the baseball. Just a quickie.
Just a quickie.
Just a quickie.
Just a quickie while she's away.
Just a quickie. All right. It's going to be a Mets/Yankees. Just a quickie. I'm going to give the Mets to Pete, the Yankees to Harry. We might reverse it just for shits and giggles and see. But
Because I don't know.
that'll be fine. So here we go. Pete, just a quickie. Here we go. Finish this statement. In the second half of the season, Jacob deGrom will
Pitch.
What do you think? In the second half of the season, Jacob deGrom will
have single-digit wins.
have single-digit wins.
I think he's going to resurrect Crazy Eddie's.
He will resurrect Crazy Eddie. I'm putting that down. That was your answer.
Yeah.
You mean that the man has got the very most in stereo sound?
Exactly.
Absolutely.
His prices are insane.
They
They really are. Okay. Here we go. So Pete says in the second half of the season, Jacob deGrom will have single-digit wins. And Harry says in the second half of the season, Jacob deGrom will resurrect Crazy Eddie's.
All right.
There
I
you
think
go.
both
All
of
right.
those things could come true.
I think it's very possible.
They're not
Absolutely.
mutually exclusive.
Not at all. They could all happen at the same time. So okay, Harry, in the second half of the season, Garrett Cole will
Win a World Series.
All right. So you hope. And Pete,
Garrett Cole will
resurrect Crazy Eddie's.
I was going to say something about nobody beats the Wiz.
There you go. Resurrect nobody.
Because they had a lot of Yankees on their commercials.
They did.
I think he'll do a nobody beats the Wiz commercial.
There you go. I could have intended.
Nobody beats.
Remember Louis Tiant with the ballpark fans?
Oh yeah.
Here's the thing about those commercials. Obviously, there's an ad agency, right?
Mhm.
Sure, of course.
Who year after year keeps selling nobody beats the Wiz. Those commercials were terrible.
Mm-hmm.
None of the Yankees were really very good at
Well, I don't think the Wiz has been around since 1983.
No, but I'm saying for years they had commercials,
Mhm.
you know, the celebrity endorse, and the Yankees were all terrible. It is where I go to buy my televisions, you know.
Well, it's because they could never get the really,
Right? No, but my point is,
they only got the drunk and or Yankees whose English was a second language.
Well, think about when they did the bulk of those commercials, right? They did the bulk of those commercials in the 80s.
Yeah.
Okay. What were the Yankees doing in the 80s?
well, but they had some, and like
My point is
overpaying Danny Tartable.
right.
no, but I remember like Andy Pettit was on a couple of those commercials.
It was that long?
So
Okay.
I think, yeah. But
Who
my
was?
point is, Andy Pettit.
Andy Pettit was on Nobody Beats the Wiz commercial. I
I
thought they had
think so,
closed
yeah.
before he was. You know,
I think so. Anyway, it could be a
Fair enough.
Mandela effect. My point is, either this was the greatest ad agency in the world,
selling
who just
their
kept
product.
selling the same shit
Right.
to the company, or they were just fucking morons.
No, you know what it was. The Wiz had a ton of money that they were spending for advertising, and these
Poorly.
Yankees were taking it.
But you'd
you know?
think at some point somebody at the Wiz would go, "Hey, maybe we should do something besides have
And,
straw man sports figures say stupid things about it."
right.
No,
and
no,
if
no.
they had, maybe they'd still be around today.
And the ad agency's going, no, it's working. The numbers are going up. It's finally working.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It just, to me, it's amazing that they did it for so long.
Sure, absolutely.
Great job by the ad.
They were only founded in 1977. They ended in 2004, and they were bought out by PC Richard.
PC Richards. A lot of the Nobody Beats the Wiz did come to become PC Richards. Yes.
Yeah. In 1998, having expanded from 20 to 80 stores, the chain filed for bankruptcy and was purchased by Cablevision. Cablevision eventually dropped the "Nobody Beats the Wiz" slogan.
And it was just the Wiz.
Yeah. And
then today it would be the Wiz Khalifa.
The chain closed permanently in 2003.
And all of their stores and product were bought by PC Richards.
September, competitor PC Richards purchased the Wiz assets mainly for its name.
Mm-hmm. There you go. Well, all righty then. A little bit of advertising and electronics store in the Northeast history for you. So there you go. All right. Shall we do tonight's quiz?
Yes.
Let's do the quiz.
Nobody beats the quiz.
Nobody beats the quiz. Nobody beats the quiz. Tonight's quiz is catchers. Catchers. If you recall, last few weeks, we've been doing designated hitters. We did designated hitters 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks ago.
Keep 4, get rid of 9. What is this?
And then from 2000 to 2020, and then we did from 80 to 2000. We couldn't do much more than that because designated hitters weren't a thing until mid 70s. So we're
right around the time as the Wiz.
There you go. Yeah, maybe there's a connection there. But in any event, we're doing catchers. Catchers 2000 to today. So current, in the last 20 years, catchers. So I'm giving you 6. You got to keep 4. 2 got to go. All right, giving you 6. Got to keep 4. 2 got to go. Write these down. Here we go.
Okay.
Buster Posey. Buster Posey.
What a great name.
Mm-hmm.
Just recently retired.
This is true. Yadier Molina.
God,
he still isn't retired.
No.
Yadier Molina. Jorge Posada.
What is the? This is just best of what?
Major League Baseball catchers from 2000 through today.
2000 through today. Okay.
Yeah. So Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Jorge Posada, Pudge, and no, not Carlton Fisk. I'm talking about Ivan Rodriguez. Jason Varitek. Jason Varitek. And rounding it out with another current catcher, JT Realmuto. So we got Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Jorge Posada, Ivan Rodriguez, Pudge Rodriguez, Jason Varitek, and JT Realmuto. Pete, kick us off. Who are you keeping? Who are you getting rid of?
Well, I think we're going to keep Buster.
All right.
He of the excellent name.
Of course.
Of course, we're going to keep Pudge.
Mm-hmm. Even though I played for the Yankees briefly?
If I held that against everyone,
that's true.
There'd never be.
I hear you.
Realmuto is kind of the wild card here because we don't have that much of a book on him.
Okay, fair enough.
But when was his first year?
Realmuto? He's got to be
2014,
13 maybe even.
Really? Is it that long?
Yeah, he's been around for a while.
Hmm.
He's 5 years before he went to Phillies. He's been with the Phillies for 3 years now, so 8, I guess 14, yeah. 2014 makes sense. We can check that. While you do that, I will put in his name and
I think I'll hang on to Molina. JT
Realmuto, he was drafted by he started playing in the bigs for the Marlins in 2014. 2014 through 2018, he's been with the Phillies since. So, yeah, we were all correct. He's 31 years old. Okay, so you're keeping Buster Posey so far, Pudge. Who'd you say? Molina?
Molina.
All right. And who's your fourth?
Jorge. I'll just keep him because I like him. I'll keep Veritek.
Veritek. All right. So Pete is keeping Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Pudge Rodriguez, and Jason Veritek.
Jorge Posada is out.
Jorge Posada and JT Realmuto are both out of this list. Okay, Harry.
The correct answer is Posey, Molina, Posada, and Pudge, with JT Realmuto and Jason Veritek, who's a far inferior player to Jorge Posada, off this list. Goodbye.
Oh, you're half right once again.
I mean, just look at the stats and the rings.
Rings. That doesn't.
There you go.
He didn't win those rings by himself.
Hip, hip, Jorge. So there you go. So Buster Posey, Yadier Molina, Jorge Posada, and Pudge Rodriguez are Harry's choices. So 3 agreed upon. Just didn't agree upon the Posada Veritek.
Yeah, I think, honestly, in all seriousness, Posada is, and when I look at his numbers, he's always much better than I ever think he was. And Veritek, I didn't think was a particularly good player, but he wasn't a Yankee. So, there you go.
So there you have it.
So there you go.
So there you have it. All right. Okay. Cool. All right. There's our list for tonight. Here's our quiz for tonight, I should say. Cool. Do we want to? Last week, Harry, you mentioned a couple of things you wanted to talk about football-wise.
Do I have to remember them?
I wrote them down.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah. So you said you wanted to talk about which wide receiver will have the biggest meltdown this coming season. And we joked about the fact that it's probably going to be Antonio Brown, which isn't out of the realm of possibility, even if he isn't playing. But short of Antonio Brown, which one will it be? So you want to take that?
Well, I don't know. I mean, there's so many to choose from. I'm going to go with Tyreek Hill. I think we're going to see a little craziness from that bastard. I mean, we're also going to see a lot of touchdowns, probably. But
But are we going to see some craziness? Let me ask you this, though. That's a good thing to bring up. Let me ask you this: are we going to see some craziness because he's going to start getting frustrated because Tua is not Patrick Mahomes?
Oh, he's a better passer, obviously, than Patrick Mahomes, according to Tyreek Hill. But no, I think Tyreek Hill is that's my pick. I'm going with Tyreek Hill.
That's not a realm of possibility there. I don't know why. Well, Pete, let me hear yours first, and I'll leave mine.
Hill's a good pick.
He's leading
what is the
fantasy
question?
breakdown. Who's going to have the biggest,
What is the question? Who's going to have the biggest
Which wide
meltdown?
receiver will have the biggest meltdown this coming season?
Now, by meltdown, do we mean worst season, or
just like some sort of illogical meltdown?
Nothing's going to top Antonio Brown.
Antonio Brown.
Nothing's going to top Antonio
Brown. Was
Brown.
not necessarily having a bad year. He just decided, I'm done. Took his clothes off and left in the middle of the game. All-time meltdown, maybe. Right?
Yeah.
I'm hoping for somebody can top it. Wide receivers are very competitive.
There were so many memes from that.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll be topped. I really
I hope. One can only hope.
I hope that it could be topped.
Yeah.
But
maybe he comes back. Maybe he tops himself.
Yeah, I think it's
maybe he's going to become a dynasty of meltdowns.
He's definitely my pick, but as far as guys that are going to play,
no, you can pick him. He might play. You never know. OBJ is available. You got him. There's.
I think if he stays with, I think if OBJ stays in LA, then I don't think there's going to be any meltdown there.
Because he's never had a good behavior 1 or 2 seasons and then had a meltdown before, right?
Yeah, but he just won a Super Bowl. I think that's going to be enough to get him through this season.
What if they struggle? what if, God forbid, Matthew Stafford's out for a few games and he gets frustrated? He's not getting the ball. And what if the Rams are out of contention and he's thinking, well, maybe I'll go over here and do the same thing. And his buddy Tom Brady calls him. And, you never know.
Tom Brady's OBJ's buddy.
I think Tom Brady's buddy with any of the
Anybody
wide
that'll.
receivers. Yeah.
I think
Look, if Tom Brady could deal with Antonio Brown, he could deal with OBJ.
No.
I think I'm gonna say Cooper Kupp.
Oh, Cooper Kupp, really?
For all the same reasons you just talked about OBJ.
Okay, wow, all right.
I think if they struggle, I mean, because look,
he seems like a pretty solid guy emotionally. But that's a wild card. I mean,
you're going from the top. If he goes from the top of the top of the heap,
I mean, he might shave his beard in the middle of the game.
He might freak out.
All right, Cooper Kupp. There you go. That's a long shot. That's a good one.
I'll give you mine. And I don't know why I keep coming back to this. I've been thinking about this since you mentioned it last week. And I haven't thought about anything else for the whole week. I've just been thinking about this, right?
Who's gonna have
the biggest
who's gonna have a mental meltdown?
I'm thinking DK Metcalf.
Ooh, that's a good choice. Yeah,
that was another name I was thinking.
No longer with his buddy Russell Wilson.
No Russell Wilson. Who the hell knows who's getting the ball?
Oh, he's got a Luck, right? Not like a
Geno Smith.
No, who's the Broncos quarterback?
Oh, Drew Lock.
Drew Lock. There you go.
Yeah, well, that doesn't mean anything, but and I mean, there's talk that Baker Mayfield could wind up in Seattle.
Yeah, if there's anybody, I mean, God, he's caused many a top 10 meltdown on this.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that's why I'm leaning towards.
I like it.
Metcalf.
I like it. I like all these picks. They're thinking outside the box. Thinking outside the box. Nicely done.
All right, cool. So, and then you also had one other one last week. The ones to bring up. When will Gronk come back? And we need an over/under. We need.
Well, what is the rule? What are the rules of the NFL?
Wait, before you get into that, I want to add another receiver to the list.
Okay.
What I was thinking about was Deebo Samuel.
Ooh.
Okay. He might have a meltdown because we know he doesn't want to run the
ball
as
one.
much. I'm going with Kupp.
There's plenty to pick from.
Yeah, no, I'm going with Kupp. But Johnny had mentioned Metcalf and who else?
I just mentioned Metcalf.
Oh, I thought you mentioned two guys. Oh, no, you didn't pick Brown. You picked Metcalf.
No, I didn't pick Brown. I picked Metcalf.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I thought you picked Brown. And Metcalf was a honorable mention.
There you go.
All right, never mind that.
All right.
So what is the NFL rule? I don't know. Don't know. When can Gronk join the team? Let's do a search for that.
When can Gronk come back? When do Gronk come back? Gronk come back. I'm just putting that in. Just Gronk come back. Nobody's saying anything. We're all typing.
Yeah, I know.
Nobody's saying a word. People listen to podcasts all the years. They just happen to turn on right now, and they hear that.
I don't know. There's no. It's not coming up. If somebody knows, let us know. I'm going to say he's going to come back week 10.
That might be a little bit late.
That's what I'm going with. I say week 10. He'll play in week 10.
A play in week 10.
Week 10. Here's an article from 5 days ago. 3 reasons why Rob Gronkowski could return to the Buccaneers in 2022. Let's see what the 3 reasons are. 3, Gronk could return after a short break to heal. 2,
Gonna get some crystals and face north.
I guess. 2, Gronk could return to break some records for tight ends.
Well, we know why he can return. It's just when will he return?
Right. And 1, Brady could be a factor if he needs a tight end.
Well, who wrote this?
This is from the Cold Wire.
Dumb of the year.
Written by Matthew Willis.
Sorry, Matthew, you're not really enlightening us with anything.
All right, well, here, let's see. According to sports webpage,
According to sports.
clubs participating in the play.
Written by Matthew. It's a 7-year-old.
Matt.
Fucking Davenport,
Matty.
Iowa.
Clubs participating in the playoffs are permitted to sign free agents throughout the postseason, but are limited to a total of 4 free agent signings, including players on other clubs. Wait a minute.
Okay.
Including other clubs' practice squads. So if you can sign a guy for the playoffs, why wouldn't you?
I guess he can come back no matter what.
He can pretty much be able. He can pretty much come back whenever the hell he wants.
All right.
He can pretty much come back whenever the hell he wants. So, that being said, Harry is going with. So, check this out here. Harry is going with playing in week 10. Right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Pete, what do you say? What say you?
Okay, wait a minute. Let me see if I have the answer here.
You got it written down?
Is it in a box?
From NFL.
Hold on.
Let's see.
The answer to when he can come back, or the answer when he will come back?
What league will he come back to? The answer is
can
NFL.
NFL teams sign free agents anytime?
Is he a free agent though, or did he have a contract and he just left?
Well, if you're unsigned, aren't you a free agent?
Well, yeah, if you're unsigned, you're a free agent. But my point is, did he still have another year in
By
his
retiring, though, doesn't he?
No,
void his contract. No?
He does not become. He can't retire and void his contract because everybody would do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, if they just want to become a free agent and they weren't getting let out of the contract, they would just retire for a week and then become a free agent. So,
well, did you know there are 4 types of free agency?
Unrestricted,
unrestricted.
Restricted.
Oh, well, the undrafted free agent.
Undrafted free agent, unrestricted free agent, restricted free agent.
Exclusive rights free agent.
Right.
I don't know. I'd have to read this whole thing. So I'll say week 8.
Week 8.
Oh, no, wait. Week 9.
Week 9.
I'm 17 games in the season now.
Yeah. I'm going to say week 12. You know why?
Yeah. Because who do they play on week 12? The Patriots?
No, just because it's further into the season and he doesn't have to play as much and get back to the playoffs.
Yeah, I thought I was going a little early with 10, but yeah. For some reason in my head I thought you had to be back by week 12, but I don't know. What do I know? Well,
no, the 1 year he came back when he retired, the first time he retired. You know, it's kind of like Barbra Streisand, right? She does her final tour and then comes back a couple years later.
What week was that?
I don't remember, but it was late in the season that he came back.
Well, game 10 is pretty late in the season.
Well, it's a little bit past halfway, but
he is an unrestricted free agent. He signed a 1-year deal last year.
Okay, so then he can come back he can come back in the playoffs.
Really?
He can come back in the playoffs. He can get signed in the playoffs if he wants. Absolutely. Yep. I'm not sure during or whatever. I'm not sure if there's any stipulations like there has to be a need or something like that. But yeah, he can come back anytime. He can come back in week 17.
The unrestricted free agent is a player who has more than 4 years under their belt and is outside of their contract. They are free to treat with anyone without restrictions. They have, in the eyes of the NFL, paid their dues and earned the right to be treated as professionals. So they can do
whatever they want.
Anything, anytime. Without restrictions.
There you go. So there we go. Harry says play in week 10. Pete says play in week 9. I say play in week 12. So we'll see what is up with that.
What we all agree with is we want the Gronk back.
Gronk has to come back.
Gronk come back.
Gronk come back. Absolutely. He's gonna he's gonna be in a Mel Brooks movie at some point.
You think?
Yeah, why not? Well, like Alex Karras did in Blazing Saddles.
Yeah, I don't think Mel Brooks is.
He's gonna punch a horse and not.
He's gonna punch a horse. I
don't think Mel Brooks is making movies anymore.
Nah, he's not. It's a shame though. I'd love him to, but
He's like 98, isn't he?
He's pretty old. Yeah, he's up there.
Yeah, he's pretty old.
So, anyway. All right, cool. Got another quickie, a football quickie.
He's 96.
He's 96. Yeah, he's up there. There you go. You ever see really quick?
Actually, yesterday was his birthday.
Happy birthday. Yesterday
I'm sorry,
was
not last week was his birthday.
last week.
Last week, yesterday.
What was last week yesterday, so that would be
June 28th.
June 28th. So all right, so a week 8 days ago. Happy birthday, Mr. Brooks. Cheers.
Yeah.
There you go.
I would suggest you get Gronk after the season if you're going to make a movie about him.
I would say you're absolutely right.
If you're going to redo Hamlet, then I would wait.
Probably. All right. On that note, let's do.
He could redo Young Frankenstein with Gronk.
There you go. Putting on the roots. Good movie.
Yeah.
That was Peter Boyle.
Peter Boyle's part is going to be played by Bill Belichick.
Yeah, really.
Gronk's going to play Igor.
Yes,
Yeah.
absolutely.
What hump? Anyway, all right. So let's do a football quickie.
All right.
Just a quickie football one. Here we go. We'll start with Pete. Pete, the Jets will finish the 2022 season with blank.
Didn't we do this last year?
No, we did the Mets and the Yankees.
A lot of disgruntled fans.
A lot of disgruntled fans. All right. Let's put that up there. A lot of disgruntled fans. Okay.
That's too easy. That's really too easy. That's going to be true. That's going to be true no matter what they do. I will say less than twice their win total from last season.
Okay.
Less than twice. Okay.
Less than
twice.
What was their win total from last year?
4?
4. More than 4, but less than twice.
Less than 8.
Less than less than 8.
So between 5 and 7.
Fine.
Wins.
Mr. Math
Slash.
wizard.
Less than twice. Gronk says less than twice.
I love it. More than
twice or less than twice?
So 5, 6, or 7. That's what you're saying.
No,
all right.
I'm saying more than 4, but
Or
less than twice 4.
So 5, 6, or 7.
Exactly. There you go.
If you want to be pedestrian about it.
Yeah.
All right, Harry, finish that as well. Same thing.
The Jets will
finish the 2022 season with blank.
With flair.
All right. Love it. Done.
This is like match game. You need a long microphone. Pete and I need to get really fucking drunk and just
Exactly. Blank.
I mean, not that we're not already, but
Blank.
The Mets will finish the season with Pussy Willow.
There you go.
Exactly. Mets will finish the season with razor burn.
All right, let me put these down. Razor burn and Pussy Willow. Okay. Blank a doodle do.
Howdy.
Howdy doodle do. All right. On that note. All right. Harry, the Giants will finish the 2022 season with
despair.
It rhymes with flair, so he's on a roll there.
All right. Yeah, kind of polar opposites there.
Well, I didn't say the Jets would be pot. It's going to be a flare. I'm not saying, they're not going to fizzle out, but
they're going to finish the season with a bunch of buttons all over their uniform.
They're going to flare out.
Yeah, they're going to. The Jets will finish the season. Yes.
The season.
Sure.
The Jets will finish the season with,
if you say so,
a gunshot, right? Don't they fire a gun at the end of the game?
They should fire a gun at somebody at the end of the season.
The Jets will finish the season with
twice as many, less than half of what they did last year.
Exactly. All right, Pete. The Giants will finish the 2022 season with blank.
Someone other than Daniel Jones at quarterback.
Ooh, now we're talking.
Now we're cooking with gravy. All right.
Now I don't know if that's
It
going
might
to
be Drew Lock.
I don't know if it's going to be Flair or Despair.
That's probably going to be Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah.
It could still be Despair just because it's someone different.
Someone other than.
They're going to finish the season without a quarterback.
Yeah, really. Just hike the ball to running to Saquon and let him run.
Right. Might won't be Saquon.
Someone on DJ
At the end of the year, it won't be Saquon.
All right. I'm glad we brought that up right now. Okay, that's good. I like that. So the Jets will finish which is going to be closer. The Jets will finish the 2022 season with 5, 6, or 7 wins. I'm sorry, less than twice or more than what they had last year, or Flair. And the Giants will finish the 2022 season with Despair or someone other than DJ at quarterback.
Probably both.
Or it could be both. Yeah, it could be both. So there you go. All right. On that note, then, I just want to bring this graphic up right here.
I love a show full of graphics.
Little graphics. Here we go. This was from RG3. He tweeted out, Saquon Barkley is one of the most exciting players in the world with the football when fully healthy. Back-to-back injury-filled seasons have made people forget, but Saquon is on a mission to remind everyone. The return of the real Saquon. I'm assuming he meant Saquon, not Saquad. The return of the real Saquon is a boost the Giants' offense needs. So, what do you think of RG3's comment there?
Well, he really digs deep. We all hope Saquon comes back, but is he one of the most? Even in his rookie year, was he that exciting?
It was pretty exciting in his rookie year.
Well, it was exciting, but how many games did the Giants
Who
win?
was a better running back in the 2018 season? Saquon Barkley or who?
The field.
Or the rest. Saquon Barkley was special.
What's his name from Tennessee was better
that year?
Yeah. What year are we talking about? I can't remember back that far.
2018.
2018 was his first year. Jesus Christ, that's a long time ago.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is his 5th season coming up.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott had more yards. Todd Gurley was
still a Ram.
And just behind him. Saquon. Let's see how many.
It's not just about the stats, though. Look at some of the runs he had.
He had 11 touchdowns. Todd Gurley had 17 touchdowns. Derrick Henry had 12 touchdowns and 1,059 yards. So yeah, Saquon did have a good year, without a doubt.
Yeah, but go back to the question of exciting. Gurley.
Joe Mixon was pretty exciting.
Was he really?
Christian McCaffrey was exciting.
Joe Mixon's been exciting recently. Joe Mixon really wasn't.
Philip Lindsay was actually exciting that year with the Broncos. No, yeah. Look, obviously Ezekiel Elliott was an exciting player to watch too. That's the Saquon that we all want back. I hope it happens. I'm not holding my breath.
Yeah, you know what? I hope it does too, and I'm sure he does. And there's a lot of people that hope it does. Hope he does. But
and the reality of it is we probably don't want a Saquon Barkley that has to run the ball 265 times.
No,
it's. I hope that Saquon can have 1,000-yard season and contribute to a team that wins 12 games.
Right.
That's what you really want. But, I want a unicorn as well. And,
I guess my question regarding the quote there is what brings RG3 to this opinion?
It's a slow day in sports.
He was bored, figured he'd tweet something out.
All right. That's fine.
I don't know if he's. Is he friends with Saquon?
Well, he's in the New York. He's around ESPN a lot these days, and he's obviously in that market. And he's probably looking at Giants. I don't disagree with him. I think it's a pretty obvious take. But we've been waiting on this. Yes, he's had 2 injury-filled years. He's really had 3 injury-filled years when you really think about it. Yeah, we want him to be back, but that requires the Giants to really have an offensive team that What's the biggest difference between the offensive line in 2018 and now? That's really what the Giants should be looking at is, and how many passing attempts did the Giants have in 2018?
Yeah. Well, and how many of these guys are, going to be exciting this year?
Right.
Compared to 2018.
Right.
All right. You could say he was the most exciting back in 2018.
Right.
But
Derrick Henry is an exciting running back. Even when he's running 5 miles an hour, when he's just stiff arming people to the ground, that's pretty exciting to me.
Mm-hmm.
Jonathan Taylor's a pretty exciting running back.
Jonathan Taylor's a very exciting running back. Absolutely.
Dalvin Cook's a pretty exciting running back.
Well,
I think about guys that, you know what I mean? Every week they're on the highlight films or something.
To me, any running back in a Giants uniform that gets in the end zone holding on to the ball, their own, the opponent's end zone, not their own, holding on to the ball. Yeah. That's exciting to me.
Exciting. Yeah.
It is exciting. So, all right. Well, we'll see what happens with Mr. Barkley this year. I got 2 other things in football for you. Then we can get to our top 10 list this week. One, just have to bring this up. I saw this, and I'm curious what your thoughts are. Who wore their face mask better? I'm going to put up another graphic. Here we go.
The Celtics.
Darnell Dockett or Justin Tuck?
Wow.
So, who had the better face mask? Which face mask? And those of you listening to the audio podcast, unfortunately, to see this, you're going to have to.
Well, one is in one direction, the other's in the other direction.
Yeah, it's kind of opposite, right?
I like Justin Tuck's better.
I do too. It's more flowing. It's not. The other one looks almost like
a radiator grill on a Hyundai.
It kind of looks like when you have a chain link fence, and they put the plastic stuff in there so you can't see through it. It kind of looks like that.
It does look kind of stormtrooper-ish, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah,
and he's got that extended nose thing, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah. Kind of looks like, to me, it looks more like a lacrosse player in that picture.
This is what every retiree in Florida is going to be wearing when they go out in the sun.
Right.
It's just it's like a giant sunglasses with a mask over it.
Well, we're getting to that now, right? I mean, would it be crazy to think everybody's wearing a helmet with a visor on it and the face mask and you don't really see people's faces anymore. We're getting. I'm kidding. That's a joke. Anyway, no. I agree. I think Justin Tuck had the better one. And
Justin Tuck's face mask doesn't go down very far either, though. It's barely to his chin. It looks very
his chin strap is coming out from underneath it, whereas Darnell Dockett's is just it's like down below his neck is coming down.
Well, you want your face mask to go below your chin.
Dockett's looking down, so you can't really.
That's true too. Yeah,
I think Justin Tuck's got to be careful of his chin there. I think it's an ill-fitting face mask, but it does look nice.
This is true.
Yeah, the shape is good.
Does anybody just wear the old face masks anymore? Just 3 bars and like the thing in the middle.
Right.
I don't think so.
No.
Or just the ones that the kickers used to wear with just a 1 bar.
No, that was Joe Theismann. He used to wear that at playing quarterback.
Yeah, sure.
That's the Fran Tarkenton.
Yeah, just the 1 bar. That was
the 1 bar was usually the punter.
And the quarterbacks, back in the day.
Quarterbacks used to have 2 though. They had the 1, 2, and then they
started with 1. That's why, Theismann.
Well, Tarkenton had that, but I mean, you go all the way back. I mean, you go back to the 30s and the 40s when they were playing with the leather helmets. They had leather helmets with nothing on their face. It was
back when they were real men. Darnell Dockett put on a leather helmet.
Yeah, so Dockett and Tuck, you're both pussies.
Dockett, Tuck.
Put on a leather helmet and go play.
Exactly.
Yeah. None of those guys are alive or were able to form a sentence after their 5th year in the league.
They were heroes.
That was the press conference after every game. All right, and we got one more quick football thing, and it's a double graphic for you.
Double graphic. Look at us,
old and new, and this isn't Giants or Jets related. It's actually Eagles related. So
Eagles.
Yes. I just want your opinion. Your opinion matters. All right. This is Eagles have a new word logo, word mark logo. So this is the old one, right? So we need your thoughts on the Eagles' new word mark logo. This is the old one. All right. So you know what it looks like, right?
Mm-hmm.
This is the new one. What do you think? Old, new.
Well,
I know you have a question.
one's very minimalist with some
Mhm.
funky E's, and the other one is very maximalist.
Mhm.
I don't. I like. There was another Eagles one from like the '80s that I really liked.
Oh, sure. Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
That's old school and everything else.
Yeah.
Sure. I agree. But of,
Um,
of, of these two, yeah, I have my opinion. I want yours.
I think that was the old one.
Yeah.
The new
What
one
is-
looks like an
anything-
airline, like a budget airline or something.
Right.
Yeah,
Fly Eagles Air.
Yeah.
What is a word mark logo?
Well, it's just the word. It's not the logo. It's like the Eagles
okay.
logo is the eagle, right? But their word
Yeah.
mark logo is their name. So the Giants
new
would be the
one-
NY would be the logo, but
Yeah, okay,
spelt
I got
out
it.
Giants is the word mark. You know?
Got it. This one looks like it's in a European airport.
That's what
There you go.
It's a very simple kind of logo that everyone can read. The other one looks like it's gonna rip your face off.
It looks like a rock band from the like early '80s.
Yeah.
It has a little AC/DC, a little bit of
Right.
yeah. So of
I-
course I'm gonna go for that.
Sure. I agree with both of you. Definitely the old one. I do not.
Yeah, the old
I do
ones.
not like the new one. New one is very.
This one belongs on a plaque outside like,
blobby.
the conference room.
Right.
This one's good for like very small little logos on a golf shirt.
There you go.
You know, it's good
There
for
you go.
that.
Yeah, yeah.
Or the back of a hat.
I was going to say the same thing. Back of a hat.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think the old one's better. So anybody watching that's an Eagles fan, write in. Let us know your thoughts as well. Please.
But who the fuck cares? Because they're Eagles.
There you go. All right.
Yeah.
No, I'm just
By the way, I got one
That's
quick thing about college from the college game.
Go for it. Go for it.
So I guess this happened, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago, I suppose.
Okay.
So Ohio State University.
the Ohio State University.
Thank you very much.
Ohio State University.
Sort of officially now. The Ohio State University has won the right to trademark the word "the." The U.S. Patent and Trademark Office approved their request, which was previously denied.
Just the word "the."
Well, it says the ruling says that Ohio State can now control use of "the" on branded products associated with and sold through athletics and collegiate channels, such as T-shirts, baseball caps, and hats. So
So
now,
just-
if anybody else uses the then they get to control it.
that
So-
would be that would. So if someone else makes up a T-shirt that says "The Ohio State University,"
Oh, so it has to be in combination with Ohio State.
yes, so Ohio
Okay.
State can use the word "the" as part of their official
Right.
logo.
So it's not like they control the word "the." Like, in other words, if I write an article
No,
and I have the word "the" 40
word
times
"the."
in the article, I'm going to get sued because I used the word "the."
Right, but in other words, previously Ohio State University, right? No one can kind of use that.
Right.
Now they've
have
just
permission.
included the in there.
But
Yeah.
now they have included the word "the."
That's smart on their behalf because
Sure, why
Yeah.
not?
God knows what they need is more money, and let's fuck over the small guy making some T-shirts in his garage.
Well, here's the thing. They started pursuing the trademark in August of 2019 after Marc Jacobs, who's a fashion retailer, had filed an application for the word a few months earlier. And
The Marc Jacobs.
the Marc Jacobs. And so his company and the university, they reached a deal in 2021 so that both parties can use the branding.
Let me let you in on a little secret. The world of the Marc Jacobs and the world of the Ohio State University.
They don't match.
They don't ever come close. In fact,
Yeah.
the Marc Jacob never makes it into Ohio.
No. But I'm going to still just call them Ohio State University.
And I'm just going to call him the Marc Jacobs.
Yeah.
The Marc Jacobs. Do you take the Marc Jacobs?
Hey, look at the Marc Jacobs store.
The
The Marc Jacobs there.
Well, it'd be look at the Marc Jacobs store over there.
Who's
Yeah.
the other? Who's the
The
other
what?
big fashion?
The Marc Jacobs store.
the Marc Jacobs there.
It's right down the street from Ohio State University.
The Ohio State University.
Nope,
No,
just
not
Ohio
that.
State
Ohio
University.
What other college uses the in front of it? It's somebody else other than Ohio State that
The
does
College of New Jersey.
Well,
The Notre Dame.
no.
Well, my daughter
No, I'm
graduated
talking
there
about
last year, so
I'm talking about when idiots are announcing them or introducing themselves in the beginning of
The Duke.
the College of New Jersey.
the
The St. Thomas Aquinas.
Did they do that for Miami or the Alabama?
The Miami
No,
No,
I don't think so.
It's just Ohio State.
Hurricane.
Maybe it's maybe there's a the University of
The University of
somewhere
well,
that they do that.
Well, like
Because it's different if you come on and you go number 42.
and I'm sure this is not the one, but like Bridgeport University in Connecticut is not Bridgeport University; it's the University of Bridgeport.
Well, that's different. Yeah.
You know, so
right. But in other words,
we're talking about incorrect.
I understand, but I'm saying if that's what you're thinking of, it was something along those lines.
Yeah. When I was thinking about all of the guys in the NFL, I was definitely thinking about that guy from the University of Bridgeport.
No, I didn't mean Bridgeport. I just meant another university that says it like that. Is my point.
No, the Ohio State.
It's a mispronunciation of the word.
Yeah, of course it is. Yeah.
The.
All right.
Well, what would be better? They come on the air going the Ohio State University.
No,
Well,
it sounds terrible.
They should just say Ohio State University.
Right. I know. The Ohio State University.
Yeah.
The Ohio State University.
Which it's just a fucking state university.
Exactly.
Isn't it they them theirs now?
They them
Ohio
their
State
Ohio State University.
And
Exactly.
Ohio State University?
On High Street in Columbus, Ohio.
The Columbus, Ohio.
The Columbus, Ohio. There you go.
All right. So anyway, so now it's...
did you know that Ohio is the only state that has their state flag is not rectangular?
I did know that.
You did?
It's a triangular.
No, it's got two kind of tails coming off of it. Kind of, sort of.
Pretty kinky.
Yeah, a little bit. Kinky falafel. There you go. Anyway. And the College of New Jersey used to be Trent State.
Oh, God.
College of New Jersey.
all the incredible cornerbacks that are coming.
Oh no, the sports program is not what. No,
I know. That's why
it's a good college.
That's why the joke is funny.
This Saturday, it's a battle of the D's. The University of Bridgeport versus the College of New Jersey.
the pickleball championship is on the line.
There you go.
Come see.
Watch tiny hands.
One-legged lacrosse like you've never seen it before.
Well, I will tell you the academics are very good in that college, and their cheerleading team won the cheerleading nationals.
What the fuck were they cheering for?
They cheer just to cheer, just
for a while.
Yeah.
They
Just
were
to cheer
cheering for the Ohio State.
Won the cheerleading nationals in Disney in Florida.
They won
college
the
cheerleading nationals.
They won
nationals.
the
3 years in a row.
The years in a row.
So there you go. Anyway, okay.
At the Walt Disney World.
Exactly. The Walt Disney World. Exactly. All right. There we go. All right.
Yep.
Let's mosey on to actually never change it to football in the background. So let's change it to the basketball background. Actually, let's change it to the hockey background because that is our top 10 tonight, our top list tonight. We're back to just a week. I know we did the top 10 2 weeks ago, but we decided last week that this week we were going to do a top 5 list, but it was going to be for 3 teams.
We're going to do 3 of them.
We're going to do 3 top 5 lists. So
and add an extra.
We got 3 top 5 lists that we're doing tonight. So I'm just going to run through them and we'll discuss everything at that point. So tonight's top 5 list, or top list, if you will, is top 5 New York Rangers, New York Islanders, and New York Devils of all time.
Devils.
And of course,
New Jersey.
right out of the gate, we're going to start with the Rangers. And right out of the gate, we're going to start with the Rangers, and we have 6. So we have a tie for 5. So to
the New York Rangers.
The New York Rangers, exactly. So tied at 5th in the top 5 for the New York Rangers of all time is Mike Richter. The Mike Richter.
The captain.
Exactly. And also tied for 5th is the Frank Boucher. Frank Boucher. Bobby's uncle, I believe. Bob's your uncle, right?
Great, granted.
It ain't Boucher. I think it's pronounced Boucher.
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 Frank Boucher.
Frank
I know
Boucher.
Frankie Boucher. He lived in Schenectady.
It's Boucher. Frankie Boucher.
Boucher.
Boucher used to come around as the knife sharpening guy.
There
Yeah.
you go.
Come around with that little cart with the bell on it. You go out and sharpen
Frankie.
your knives.
The nice guy.
Exactly.
The Butcher Boucher, we called him.
Mhm.
right. Moving up to number 4. Number 4 is going to be the king, Henrik Lundqvist.
Henrik
Lundqvist.
D. Henrik.
The
Henrik
Lundqvist. The Henrik Lundqvist. There you go. All right. Moving up to number 3 is Mr. Rod Gilbert. Rod Gilbert.
The all-time leader in scoring for the
There you go.
New York
Number
Rangers.
3.
The
Rod
original
Gilbert.
New York Ranger.
Number 3 on this list. Number 1 in your hots. Rod Gilbert.
Gilbert.
Gilbert. Rod Gilbert.
The Rod Gilbert.
Doesn't quite have the same ring, does it? Rod Gilbert. All right. Number 2 on the list is Brian Leach. Brian
Leach.
Could have easily been number 1, but on this list, our number 1 is Mr. Mark Messier.
Of course. The golden
And,
child.
Yes. The
The guaranteer of games.
ask me and any other Rangers fan out there, as great as that team was, they do not win the cup without Mark Messier. So,
I don't disagree with that, but was he a better player on the Rangers than Rod Gilbert?
it depends. I mean, he did have a lot of other good players around him, and Rod Gilbert was a great player. He really was. You know what? I mean, to be quite honest with you, any of these players, with the exception of maybe Mike Richter and Henrik Lundqvist. I mean, I'm partial to Mike Richter, but Henrik Lundqvist is just an amazing goalie. He really was. And Bobby Boucher.
How about
Frank-
Tony Espinita?
Frank Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
Bobby Boucher.
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 But
Boucher the bouncer.
between Mark Messier, Brian Leach, and Rod Gilbert, you could probably put any of those 3 at number 1 and be winning. So,
There you go.
All right. We're moving on to the New York Islanders. We're going to kick it off with number 5 is going to be Bobby Nystrom. Bobby Nystrom is our number 5 for the New York Islanders. Number 4 for the New York Islanders would be Billy Smith.
Billy.
Billy Smith.
Billy the Kid.
Yeah, I mean, was there, I mean, great teams back then, but I mean, his goaltending was just
The keeper's keeper.
crazy.
He introduced him, and then they played Gretzky the first time in the Stanley Cups. He whacked him in the nuts with his stick and said, "Welcome to the NHL."
Welcome to the NHL. There you go. All right. Moving on to number 3 is
He was a better player for it.
he was a better player for
He
it.
certainly was.
Number 3, Brian Trottier. Brian Trottier is number 3. Moving to number 2, and this was a little bit of bone of contention here because I feel the same way. You could have gone either way, but number 3 is going to be Mike Bossy.
Mike Bossy, the man with
Bossy.
the highest goals per game average in the history of the NHL, who recently passed away. Rest your soul, the great one, the greatest Islander of all time, Mr. Mike Bossy.
There you go. And also beyond him, number 1. And again, you could put Mike Bossy in number 1 and number 1 and number 2, and you wouldn't be wrong either way. You could go either way with this. Dennis Potvin.
That was close. Yeah.
Dennis Potvin. Just again, there, and on our list, and we'll be completely honest, we'll be totally forthcoming on our list. Technically, and it was just the way it came out on the list. Dennis Potvin and Mike Bossy were both tied for first place. So technically, we have a top
put
5.
Potvin third? Oh my goodness.
Who put Potvin third?
Harry.
Look, let me explain it to you simply. We would not be talking about Dennis Potvin if it wasn't for Brian Trottier and Mike Bossy. Okay? Brian Trottier, Mike Bossy, and Bobby Nystrom might be the greatest line in the history of the NHL. All right? Brian Trottier is one of the greatest top 50 players of all time. And Mike Bossy is one of the greatest goal scorers. There is nobody that's had more consecutive 50-goal seasons than Mike Bossy. There is nobody in the history of the NHL who has averaged more goals per game than Mike Bossy. He was the greatest Islander. It's Dennis Potvin was great. Don't get me wrong. I mean, he was one of the best defenders of all time. But he wasn't Mike Bossy.
You know what? Like I said, I went back and forth on my list. Dennis Potvin, Mike Bossy, Dennis Potvin, Mike Bossy, and I just put the two names down because I mean, I was putting 5 down. They're interchangeable 1 and 2.
I don't
and
think
then Brian Chache was there too, but
yeah.
I mean, this whole look of all 3 lists, the 3 of us, this is the only list that we all have the same 5 names.
Well,
They're
and
right
what
in the
I was
same
going to
order,
say,
but-
if you were to take an all-time starting 5 of the Islanders,
Mhm.
the starting 5 on those championship dynasties would be the guys that were on there. It
Well,
would be
yeah.
these guys,
These
plus
5 guys.
plus another defenseman,
Plus
from
another
the,
defenseman, yeah.
probably, So it's that team. I think people forget about how good those Islanders teams were.
They were
I really
insane.
do.
4 cups in a row. When does that happen?
And they went to the Stanley Cup Finals 5 in a row.
Right.
So they wound up losing to this group of guys with Gretzky and Messier on it.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
it wasn't like they were handing
it wasn't
over
like they
their
just get just they were spent.
And,
I mean,
Mike Bossy had incredible back problems. Brian Trottier actually went on to win another cup with the Penguins.
Mm-hmm.
Potvin was great. Billy Smith was great. Bobby Nystrom was great. There's Clark Gillies was another guy who could be on this list. And then, the Islanders were relevant still in the years after that. They just couldn't get back to the finals. Yeah. When you talk about Pat Flatley and Pat LaFontaine and players of that ilk, they were great for a very long time.
I was floating around like Pat LaFontaine. I was floating around with his name, and I mean, more recently, John Tavares. I mean,
right?
But
Tavares is gone, and and so it's these guys were around for a long time. They were tough as nails, and they beat some really good teams.
Okay.
The quality. I'm not saying that the quality of competition is not good now. It obviously is. These players are incredible, but think about hockey in the late 70s. It was a little bit more physical than it was today.
Just a bit. Just a bit. There's still fights today, but I mean, nothing like. I mean, the players in the 70s would laugh at the fights today.
Yeah,
it really would.
Yeah.
So, but in any event, so there's our Islanders list.
And I think the other thing with the Rangers list is I think that they forget just how. The Rangers had some really good teams. They didn't win very much, but they early on in that franchise's history, they had some incredible players. We forget about that. They've been around a long time. Hockey's been around a long time.
Long time. They had great players. I didn't. There were a few players on the list. I mean, we talked about this. There were a few older players that we could have put on this list, and it wouldn't have been wrong to put them on here. But as far as modern day, it's kind of like we did with when we did our Giants list about a year and a half ago when we first did our top 10 Giants of all time.
Sure.
We had to split it up. We did top 10 Giants from 1925 to 1970, and then top 10 Giants from 1970 to today.
Yeah.
Because it's two different eras, and it's really difficult to pick 10 across 100 years.
Yeah.
It really is. So, but yeah. So there you have with that. But let's move on to the Devils. We're gonna kick it off with number 5 is gonna be Mr. Ken Danico. Kenny Danico. Moving on to number 4 is Mr. Scott Niedermayer. Moving on to number 3 is Patrick Elias. Number 2 is Scott Stevens, and the number 1 Devil on this list is no, it's not Glenn Chico Resch. It is I'm kidding. It is Mr. Martin Brodeur. Marty Brodeur.
System goaltender.
There you
Did
go.
Chico Resch ever play for the Rangers? Because he played for the Islanders and the Devils.
He played for the Islanders
and the Devils.
He was he played
the
for the
original Devil because he was on the Rockies.
Right.
Yeah.
So
did he ever play for the Rangers?
He did not.
Okay.
He did not. He didn't have the New York trifecta.
It would have been something. There is one player I think who's played for there was one player I think who won a cup with both the Islanders and the Rangers. Maybe I'm wrong in that.
Player, let's find out. Talk amongst yourselves while I search.
Well, I mean, the Devil. Look, the personality of the Devils is right there. It's mostly defensive players, and in my opinion, the best goaltender of all time. I mean, Dominic Hasek I would put up there as well. But Marty Brodeur was just 1 in a million. And those Devils, I mean, look, they've changed rules because of some of these defensemen on the Devils. I mean, there was some. Niedermeyer was a pretty. These guys knew how to lay some wood.
There have been 11 players to play for all 3 New York teams.
Yeah, but there's one I think who won a cup with. Yeah, I can't remember. That's interesting now. Yeah.
Patrick Conacher,
Mm-hmm.
Joel Bouchard, Aaron Asham, Mike Motow, Kevin Weeks, Michael Grabner, P.A. Parento, Mike Dunham, Vladimir Malakov, Sergei
Oh, yes.
Nemchinov, and I don't know why I didn't remember this, Mr. John Van Beesbrook.
John Van Beesbrook. Wow.
Ah.
The Devils have 3 cups.
Devils have 3 cups.
Three cups. I mean, they were in 4, right?
Yep.
Because they lost to the Avalanche. So, I mean, considering the Devils were maybe the most consistent for that span of time, there was a pretty good amount of time between cups, right? Wasn't it like 96 to 2004 or something like that?
95 to 2. Yeah, well, I mean, they were 94 even. I mean, the Giants. The Giants beat them in the World Series now.
Yeah.
I remember that series.
Yeah. Patrick Elliott just pitched a
A
no-hitter.
lot of time in the penalty box.
To win the NBA championship. It was
Claude
great.
Lemieux got thrown out of a game for stealing second base, literally.
Yeah.
Just left.
But the Rangers beat the Devils in the Eastern Conference Finals
Yeah, that's right.
to go play the Canucks in the Cup.
That's right.
So 94 on they were there. So
Yeah.
but
And the poor Islanders, boy, I really hope. Last year was not this past year, but the year before was a little bit of a tease. I thought maybe they had something going where they would, be able to improve upon that. But who knows? We shall see.
Right.
They have a hard time holding on to really good players in Long Island right now, or Brooklyn, or wherever the fuck it is.
no, they're back in Long Island. They're playing Long Island now.
Well,
I think they still have a couple of years that they have to
Play a
play
few
some
games.
few games in Brooklyn, kind of thing.
No.
But yeah, they have their new home out on the island now.
Yeah, they patched the roof on the Nassau Coliseum.
No, they have it's a new building.
I know.
they put some of that what's it called, the commercial with the
the
Flex Seal.
Flex Seal, yeah. I remember going to concerts there and looking up and literally seeing the sky. I'm like,
yeah,
that's just great.
Yes, three cups in 8 years.
Yeah.
Last concert I saw at Nassau Coliseum was with you. We saw
Quarter Flash.
Quarter Flash. No, last one I saw was Duran.
Durant, well, look at you. They were some hockey players there.
They were.
Yeah.
So there you go. And Pete was not there. You and I were both
No.
on the island, and Pete was not there.
Yeah.
Not an Islanders fan either.
No. Well, he's from upstate New York.
Yeah, I grew up.
I know. So you should be a Buffalo Sabres fan.
Right.
Not that far.
Yeah.
No, we're like
From upstate New York, so I'm a Devils fan.
Well, mid Hudson Valley.
Mid Hudson Valley.
Mid-Hudson
It's about
Valley.
100 miles north of Manhattan.
Oh, I know where it is.
How close to Rhinebeck?
Across the river.
Across the river. On the good side.
Other side of the Hudson.
Yeah. There you
No,
go.
all of my friends were Rangers fans, and I wasn't really a hockey fan. And then the Devils moved to Jersey, and I didn't even know who the hell the Islanders were.
You know, it was
Not
interesting.
really being a hockey fan. So the Devils moved, and I was like, okay, that's my team.
There
Well,
you go.
the Islanders Rangers rivalry back in that era when the Islanders were, starting their dynasty, it
Yeah.
was just brutal. I mean,
Oh, it was.
you could not wear an Islanders jersey to Madison Square Garden. Forget
No.
about it.
No.
The fan. I mean, it was a different world.
Mm-hmm.
The other thing that I think people don't remember is that hockey was not on network television, so you had to have this thing called cable television, which nobody really had yet
Mm-mm.
in mass to watch the games.
Weren't there some Islanders games back in the day on Channel 9, though?
No, the Rangers were on Channel 9.
Okay. I remember watching hockey on Channel 9. So.
I think there was a few Islanders games on, but not very many. And then you had to wait till the playoffs, and even deep into the playoffs, for them to be on regular television, and sometimes it was delayed.
Right.
So it was a big reason why hockey fans were the ones who were kind of leading the way with cable, because they, you had to. But there was I also remember what got me into hockey quite a bit was ESPN in its early days. Once we did start to get cable, they had a lot of hockey shows on. They showed a lot of hockey games. They had a lot of This Week in Hockey, and
Yep.
it was just they were really promoting it quite a bit on cable. So there wasn't as much overall sports coverage on ESPN back then as there was. So it was kind of an underground. It was kind of an underground sport.
It was very limited. Not just hockey, but ESPN was very limited back in the day. It was, and Chris Berman was there from day one too.
Oh, they used to shut off at night.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like every other channel at that point. I mean, who doesn't remember? Well, younger people obviously, but who doesn't remember sitting there at 2:00 in the morning? Can't sleep, and the TV channels, signing off and playing the Star Spangled Banner, and then going to the test pattern.
Yeah, right after the Whiz commercials.
Right after all of the Whiz.
The Joe Franklin show.
The Joe Franklin show, yes, the Joe Franklin show.
Just shortly after the Uncle Floyd show.
Uncle Floyd first, then Joe Franklin, right? Exactly. So, but anyway, all right.
Those are some pretty good hockey teams.
Some great hockey teams. I got one more Martin Brodeur story for you. I was doing I think you know the story. I was doing a TV local, not a local, a regional Ford commercial.
I was doing a Whiz commercial.
I was doing a Whiz. I was taking
Me and
a
Andy
Whiz.
Pettit were doing a Nobody Beats a Whiz commercial. Martin Brodeur walked
in.
in.
Why don't we get Martin Brodeur, somebody whose English is a second language?
Me and Andy Rick here, we're doing. Now
he would still sound more intelligent than
we were doing a regional Ford spot, and we had Martin Brodeur on. It was save time, save money, and he was in goal, and he was saving pucks getting fired at him. We had that, and then we did the close up of him, and he had a little segment of like a 10-second where he actually talked, and wrote out cue cards with big text and everything else, so you could just read everything. Boom, 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 and somewhere I have a videotape with him looking at me, because it was the 30th, 35th, 40th take. And he looked at me and he says, John, I'm a hockey player. We're not that smart. And I'm French Canadian to boot. So it was pretty good.
Yeah, you trying to get Martin Brodeur to do 40 takes?
It might not have been 40, but it was a lot. It was a lot of takes. But he got it right. He got it. He came around and got it. But what was funny too is there was a bunch of us firing the pucks at him on the ice so that he could save him. We were just getting that footage. We got a bunch of footage or whatever. One guy actually snuck a puck by him. So he literally did like a lap for about 10 minutes. I scored a goal on Martin Brodeur. So anyway, so that was good. But all right, that brings us to this week's Old Balls. All right, why don't you tell us who this week's Old Balls is?
Well, this week's Old Balls is my favorite hockey player of all time. He's fictional, and his name is Ogie Oglethorpe. He was originally on the Lancaster Gears, but was traded after beating deportation to the Syracuse Bulldogs, and wound up playing the Charlestown Chiefs in the championship game in the 1977 film Slapshot. Now, that game never really ended. Well, it sort of ended.
It kind of ended
in forfeit when one of the Charlestown Chiefs players decided to just strip naked during the fight. But if you don't know who Ogie Oglethorpe is, and you have never watched Slapshot, well, then make it a little point this weekend or whatever you have some time to watch Slapshot. Ogie Oglethorpe is actually based on an actual player named Ned Dowd, whose sister was actually the director of the film. So, yeah.
So she made a movie about her brother.
Well, he was a part of it.
Sort of.
And he was kind of cast in this classic role that you see in a lot of films where you don't really see him until the very end. You hear about him, Oglethorpe. but you don't see him until the championship game when he comes on the ice. So anyway, a little bit of humor here for this week's Old Balls. It could have been Barry Beck. Barry Beck was kind of the Ogie Oglethorpe of the Rangers.
There you go.
But
Beck is back.
And I also thought maybe we should, do the Ooh La La Sassoon commercials for the Rangers.
Oh yeah.
But
Gilbert.
But instead, Ogie Oglethorpe was this week's recipient of Old Balls and our first fictional athlete, who is an actual athlete, but portraying a fictional one in what I consider the best sports film ever made.
There you go. That's this week's Old Balls. Old Balls. All right. Sounds good to me. Yeah. So that was a good list.
That's the last time we'll ever do hockey.
That was probably
I
that's
think
the first and last time we'll
overall,
do hockey there. So
We were, for a list of 15 people, this was probably
The Islanders
the
and
closest
the
we've
Devils
ever been
were,
to solemnity across the board, right?
Yep.
I have to agree with that.
Even on the Islanders and the Rangers, we had almost all the same people.
Yep.
I was the outlier again.
Yeah.
Although it was good to see Mr. Bathgate on your list there, Harry.
That's right. One of the Devils too that I remember only because he was also out here in Colorado was Claude Lemieux, and that guy could have been a character in a film.
Oh yeah.
Hockey's, we still have some characters, but now it's guys eating cookies on the bench as opposed to literally being dragged out of a bar at 3 a.m. Yeah. Well, maybe we'll do another hockey list at some point.
Oh, I'm sure we'll do another hockey list at some point. It was fun. I enjoyed this list. I did. Well, another couple of weeks we'll get back to maybe we'll do a couple of. We haven't done any baseball this year, so we'll do a couple of baseball before we get back into football. So we should do a couple of interesting ones. But the quizzes have always been baseball since we started them, so kind of involved a little bit there. So anyway, cool. All right. I hear that we have an over-under, unless you have anything you want to talk about prior to.
Just one thing I want to mention. It's kind of a feel-good story. So I guess during the last Iditarod.
The Iditarod?
The Iditarod?
Wait. Well, hold on. You did a rod?
We'll edit that
one.
out.
I know he just used this part on his OnlyFans page.
In the I did rods.
Anyway.
So
that's a different race. That's a different race.
It's a completely different race.
Yeah.
Sebastian dos Santos Borges of France.
Okay.
Lost one of his sled dogs during the last Iditarod.
Like the dog died or it got lost?
The dog was disappeared from a checkpoint in the race after covering about 150 miles of the race. And that was, I guess, about almost 4 months ago, maybe. So he went missing in March. The trail committee called it an escape from the Ruby checkpoint. However, recently, a couple of weeks ago, well, now it's, I guess, the better part of a month ago, residents of the Alaskan city of McGrath said that they had seen Leon, the name of the dog, out and about. This is about 120 miles south of the checkpoint.
They could tell because of his French accent.
Well, he was attached to a sled, I guess. So
it's attached to a sled.
So the residents of the cabin.
So the driver and all the other dogs had no sled.
Yeah, no, it's
one dog took off.
Well, he escaped. What can I say?
Yeah.
So they left.
He didn't want to walk
out,
okay.
And
he sat in a sled and went for a ride.
Eventually, they captured him, and he was just recently, earlier this month, reunited with
back into labor.
Yeah.
Back into forced labor.
They found him skinny, but in general good health. So between March and May, he was living out in the Alaskan wilderness by himself.
That's what it
more
takes.
Than 100 miles south of where he got out of the checkpoint.
So I gotta go.
He wandered 100 miles.
I got to go out into the Alaskan wilderness for a month and not eat anything to be skinny and in generally good shape.
Generally good health.
Yeah.
There you go. So,
yeah,
writing was
120
on the wall the
miles
whole time, right? There.
Carrying a sled around my
Carrying a
neck.
sled around your neck while you're doing it, right? Exactly.
Yeah. So,
Well, at
so
least
he's,
you pull your bed with you every day. You know?
Whatever. You know.
Leon being reunited, and that's a good thing.
That's a great thing. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Mm.
So that's
Not sure how I feel about those dog races. I'm not sure it's all that. I feel like it's a little bit of animal cruelty going on there.
You know, I kind of feel the same way. There's been a couple of documentaries about them.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's a case where the dog doesn't know anything else, and so they're excited, and that's what they love to do. You know what I mean?
Right.
Or it's just
It's like the greyhound
personality
racers.
of the, because you can't just take any dog and make it a sled dog.
No.
They have a certain type of person, and they just love to run. You know, that's what they're on. And all of these mushers that I've seen on these films and they talk to, and you know, they don't seem like cruel people. You know,
No.
they love dogs
Neither.
more than most people do. But it's
Sure.
a weird situation because you're like, well, they wouldn't do that on their own. So it's
No.
kind of hard to say, you know, is it that situation where this is all they know? So they think this is the greatest thing. They don't know what it's like to lounge in a pasture, or you know.
Do you think when they're broadcasting the Iditarod, they have some old ex dogs that kind of comment on it?
You would think they would have them, yeah. What do you think,
Old
Archie?
dogs.
It can't be that old, I guess.
No.
I think I would understand them just as much as I understand Shaq when he's talking to Barkley.
This is true. This is very true.
Could you imagine they hold the mic down and go, well, that's just terrible.
Barkley's hilarious.
I think he runs a little bit faster than I do.
Shaq's had some good takes lately on things. He's been getting in some Twitter wars with people.
Shaq's quite a trip, man. He really is.
He says he's broke, and I think with the amount of kids and wives that he's had, I don't blame him. I don't disagree with him.
I think he could sell his house.
Yeah.
I mean, he wouldn't be broke anymore. His house is like 19 acres of house.
But he endorses 98 products.
Yeah, I know.
You could turn on the television at any point and see Shaq in a commercial.
Yeah.
I find it hard to believe that
some of
he's
it's
broke.
kind of look. It's sort of, you know, like seeing Joe Namath doing call up and find out about
the money store,
Medicare,
right?
You know, it's embarrassing. I don't know, it's disheartening.
Shaq's doing national commercials. Joe Namath's doing the money store with Phil Rizzuto.
Yeah, but they're national commercials for fucking Icy Hot. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But, you know,
I mean, come on.
Yeah. It's the ShamWow was still around. He'd be
ShamWow. Wow.
You got this camera guy?
That's funny.
Didn't that dude go to prison?
The ShamWow guy? Probably.
I mean, he was in jail, right?
He definitely looked like a crackhead or a meth addict.
That's the story.
Yeah.
There you go.
Oh yeah. I mean, just you saw him, I was just like, whoa, this guy's way too excited about this towel.
Hey, check out this fucking towel.
Here's a towel. Now, if you want a towel, this is a towel.
You can soak up a fucking quart of water with this and then snap a guy's ass 18 feet away.
Exactly.
Hey,
ShamWow guy was trying to sell that stuff for a reason.
Exactly.
Yeah, he was paying off some debts.
Exactly. But getting back to the Iditarod, you know, you're talking about that. What was the outcome of your, you know, your thoughts as far as the thing you watched on the cruelty, if you will, to the dogs?
I don't know, man. It seems like they're in their element,
Right?
But you know,
Just basically, like you said before, just the thing like it's all they know, so they're not like being really abused or whatever. They're
I don't. Again, it's conditioning. I don't think they have to be trained and tortured and scared into running. I don't think that's how it works.
That's what they want to do.
But you could. But I think you could make an argument that that's not what a dog's life should be.
Right.
You know.
Well, a lot of people got into it too. I mean, even Cuba Gooding Jr. got into the Iditarod races.
Yeah, well,
he's still around
right there. Yeah, right there. He's got his dogs.
I believe those dogs kept him alive, right? When
they did. They did. He was he.
Is that what's her name? Cory Booker's girlfriend.
Maybe, I don't know.
Cuba Gooding Jr. is Cory Booker's girlfriend?
He is not.
I have not heard that.
The other person.
Oh,
It could
I
very
don't know.
well
How can you even tell who that is?
be.
I don't know. I'm looking at a picture of her. I'm not looking at Cuba Gooding Jr.
Oh, you know what? I have.
Is it one of the dogs you're looking at, or I'm not
No,
sure?
I'm looking at the lady in the blue hat.
Oh,
let me
her.
put this on the big screen because
There you go.
You're looking at
I
it
don't
on your
know.
phone.
she's got a very wide smile.
Yeah.
We'll have to find out. You know what?
Nah, it actually isn't.
It
I
isn't,
just,
Hey, you checked that out already? So I don't have to bother.
Yeah.
All right. So, okay. We have a.
Was that a movie that Cuba Gooding Jr. was in?
Yeah, it was called Snow Dogs.
I've never seen a movie with him. I can't say that I have.
You never saw Jerry Maguire?
I never saw Jerry Maguire.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
You never saw.
Movie.
You never. Oh, wait. You never saw A Few Good Men?
No.
Really?
You never saw that one where he was a diver?
What, really? No.
Which
Holy
one?
Diver?
Black
I saw
deep-
the
first
Holy
black
Diver.
deep sea diver in the Navy's
Was
history.
he in the Holy Diver video with Ronnie James Dio?
Yes.
Then I've seen it.
There you go.
I'm not lying. I've never seen it.
You never saw Coming to America?
Eddie Murphy?
He was in Coming to America?
He wasn't Coming to America.
I have recently seen that for the first time, so maybe I have seen him in a movie.
He had a very small part. He was when they first walked into the barber shop in Queens, very first time, he was sitting in a chair getting a haircut before Eddie Murphy sat down.
You didn't see Boys in the Hood?
Yeah, I was going to say Boys in the Hood.
Was he in that?
Yeah, he was the star of it.
No, so I did see him in that. Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Give me the gun, Trey.
It's been a long time since I've seen that. I don't remember him exactly. That was before he was really annoying, though, and everywhere, right?
Yes. That was kind of his breakout.
Okay.
Yeah, you should watch that again. It's a great film.
Yeah, Boys in the Hood's good. So.
And I'll check him out in Husky's Revenge or whatever the.
Yeah, like if you want to see
Dogs,
polar opposites, no pun intended.
Yes.
You watch Boys in the Hood and then Snow Dogs.
Great film. Great performance by Cuba Gooding Jr. The movie with the dogs in the snow.
Great performance.
Horrible piece of shit and mailing it in with stamps galore.
There you go.
All right. Well, there you go.
But you know who played his mother in the movie? In the Snow Dogs movie?
Phyllis Diller?
Toya had Jackson.
No, Uhura from Star Trek.
Nichelle Nichols, really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Nichelle Nichols, yeah. Not Michelle Nichols. Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah.
Nichelle Nichols?
Nichelle Nichols. Nichelle Nichols.
Nichelle Nichols.
Yeah. She was Uhura on
But that was her
be
name, right?
Be nice. She, don't call her a whore.
Was that her real name or
Nichelle Nichols is her real name.
Is it her real name?
I'm assuming. I don't know otherwise, but who knows?
No.
But yeah. So anyway, that was his mother. Anyway, but yeah, Pete's right. Watch Polar Opposites. Watch them back to back.
I'm not watching.
Tell us what you think.
I'm not watching either.
The very best and quite possibly the very worst of Cuba Gooding Jr. Although Jerry Maguire was also very good.
I like Jerry Maguire.
Yeah, that's a 2 for no for me because he's in that with Tom
Cruise.
Yeah. So I can't do either.
You don't like Scientology?
You can't support. Yeah, I can't support him. Yeah, just can't do it.
Gotcha.
Yeah,
gotcha.
Tom Cruise. Yeah, even I remember as a kid with him in the underwear sliding across, just like, I don't like this guy.
Risky Business.
Yeah, there you go.
What about All the Right Moves? That was a good movie.
I never saw it.
No?
Yeah, it was kind of.
What's Craig T. Nelson was his coach in Pittsburgh, and he was a football player, and his girlfriend was Ali Sheedy, was his girlfriend.
Sounds wonderful. I never saw it. Not a big movie guy these days, or back then.
Well, I mean, that was like 1981.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what was. Oh, you know what was
I saw Vision Quest back then.
Vision Quest was 85. Matthew.
85. Look at that.
Modine,
Matthew Modine.
Fuck. Do you know what year Vision Quest was?
I just happened to know
with such certainty.
Yeah.
Who was the chick in that? Wasn't she a Playboy centerfold or something? Right?
Yeah. Who was that?
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
She was
super hot though.
Attractive. Yes.
That's Cuba Gooding Jr.
It was Cuba Gooding Jr. Yeah. It was Nichelle Nichols.
You know what? If you hate Tom Cruise, but John, do you ever see
Collateral?
Collateral?
1985.
I
Linda-
wasn't kidding you. It was
Linda-
1985.
Linda
Yeah.
Fiorentina.
Linda
Fiorentina.
Fiorentina.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
Linda Fiorentina. Yeah.
Did you ever see
was-
Collateral, John?
Yes, I saw Collateral. Yes,
That's a good Tom Cruise movie.
that's a good movie. Yeah.
It's a Jamie Foxx movie, but Tom
Right.
Cruise is in it.
Yeah, that's
But it's really good because it's a very subdued Tom
subdued
Cruise.
Jamie Foxx. There's no such
No.
thing.
No,
Well,
no,
yeah,
sub-
they're both pretty.
They're
subdued.
both pretty subdued in it. Yeah,
Yeah. It's
even for the
it's a
movie, it
pretty
is.
good film.
Collateral's a good movie. Collateral's a
Yeah,
good film.
good
I'll
film.
stick to Slapshot.
All right.
There you go. All right, cool. All right,
Over under.
over time.
Over under. All right. So I have the answer written down here, which I have hung up, as you've seen
Hanging up.
the whole show hanging up there.
Gotcha.
It's been hanging up there for a while, actually, because I'm never sure when we're going to do this. But we're going to go back. We're going to go back to the
Back
ones
to the
that
pills?
Harry likes. Containers of things. How many
yeah.
are in them?
Are these your pills again?
No, I got thumbtacks.
Thumbtack. I was
Thumbtack.
going to say, I hope
I
he's not
have-
taking them as pills.
I
I
can't
have
see.
some cork boards here.
Okay,
You
yeah,
know,
that's what you
squares
call it.
and that I put on the wall because
Mhm.
I like sticking things up. I like notes.
Right.
And so this container originally had 100 thumbtacks in it, or
Really?
as you might call them,
Push pins.
push pins.
There you go.
Well, because they are technically push pins. A thumbtack
Yes,
is
they-
flatter and it's a
It's
tack.
flat, and you push it in with your thumb.
Yeah, that's a
It's
push
tack.
pin.
So let me turn on the light here. I don't know if that makes it any better or not. But so here is the container.
Mhm.
Okay, there used to be 100 in there.
Used to be 100 in here.
Okay,
This is the bottom. This is the top.
okay.
This is the church. This is the steeple.
I'll level them out so you can
All
see.
right, nice. What's the over under?
The over under is 79. 79.
89. All right. Harry, you going first?
Good.
I can go first if you want.
Go for it.
I'm going under.
John is going under.
I'm going under as well.
We either both win or we both lose.
I like you guys in solidarity. Let me pull down the
And
Answer sheet here.
The winner is
which I have written the number. Which you can't read.
Can't read it.
82.
82.
82. All right. We both
So
lose.
close.
You know what? I probably would have given it away, but here's a look at the. Oh, I'm not even using this camera. That's hilarious. I'm using the laptop camera. I had no idea.
Where was that camera?
Well, it sits on top of the laptop.
Sits on top
it was
of
it was
something.
under the desk.
That's hilarious.
There you go. Oh, you just
It's
changed
so
your
close.
haircut that quick. Wow.
Yeah. You look confused and like you smelled something bad.
Now, do we get the right one? Yeah, there we go.
There we go. All right.
So here's the cork boards on the wall
Very nice.
with the thumbtacks.
Where is
in
your where's your velvet lounge that you use for your OnlyFans?
That has been transferred to the basement.
Oh, he's got a lair down there.
You got room for a bigger production crew.
Well, I had a few pieces of equipment come in.
you put a floor drain in down there, didn't you?
Well, yeah, that was part of the problem. Is
the drainage
fluids
up there
are
was
tough
not
to get out of the carpet
To clean up.
But I had a couple of restraining devices, let's call them, and I needed some additional floor space.
Sure, well that makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
And also the bolts are
Yeah, you want the concrete wall.
yeah, they stay in the concrete
Yeah.
so much better than
Yeah.
drywall.
Yeah. Plus, you don't want any natural light.
No, well, I did paint over the windows, so yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. Without an external light source. I mean, we do have the furnace pilot light, but
That's
that's
about
not
it.
really enough to navigate
Right.
the entire.
Right.
So expanding.
And now there's room for the Zamboni.
Yes.
And now there's
Yes.
room for the Zamboni.
I actually have the old fridge down there, and I'm working on some big blocks of ice. Like fill up the whole freezer with a bag of water.
Has anybody turned a riding mower into a Zamboni?
I wish they did.
Isn't that a good idea?
That is
I
a
think
good
that's
idea.
a great idea, actually.
Yeah. Maybe that's what I should. That's my next.
Put some
Pick-
pads on the blades, right?
pick-
Some sort of a.
Yeah, pick your favorite team, and then when you're out cutting your grass, it could look like you're the Zamboni driver for the, New Jersey Devils.
That's a
New
good
Jersey
idea.
Devils Zamboni driver. There you go.
Well, congratulations, you both lost.
82. That was deceiving. It was a close one, as they always are.
Yeah,
It was deceiving. It really was. Yeah. So, there you go.
that's kind of tough to tell.
But it's so exciting.
Well,
I like the over under. It's what I look forward to.
I do. I look forward to them too. All right.
That and the quiz, which Hall of Famer are you not going to put on your list?
Well, it's tough. I mean, that's the idea, right? You got to get
Right.
6 really good names and pick 4 of them from the 6.
Jason
Yeah.
Garrett.
It's not like I'm going to give you. It's not like, okay, we're going to do pitchers. I'm going to do Jacob deGrom, Max Scherzer, Garrett Cole, Justin Verlander, and then we're going to do Steven Matz and whatever else. It's not putting
Grumpy Adams.
Grumpy Adams. Not putting Steven Matz down by any means,
By the
but,
way, Justin Verlander's having a hell of a year.
yeah. How old is he? I mean,
He's
seriously.
not as old as you think, but he's not as young as you would think his numbers
No.
are showing.
Exactly.
Damn.
He's a lot younger than Grumpy Adams.
Grumpy Adams.
Grumpy Adams is
Grumpy
fun.
Adams is great. I mean, he lost that one arm and just switched hands.
Exactly.
His ERA was 16.7, but he pitched full games.
But they gave him run support, though. I mean, they scored like 30 runs.
Yeah.
They
The
scored
average
30 runs the
runs
whole
scored
year.
Per game when he pitched was 17. So
He was 3-23 that last year, but
There
17 complete games.
yeah, but they lost by an average of 0.8 runs
That's right.
in his
That's
starts.
That's right.
you go.
That's right.
So, all right. All right. We good?
I think
We're
that'll
good.
do it.
I think that'll do it for the week. All right. On that note, we'll wrap up the show for today. We want to thank everybody for watching. And for those of you just listening to the audio podcast, thanks for listening. Don't forget to try that again. Don't forget to visit our website, www.getonwithitpodcast.com. That's getonwithitpodcast.com.
We have a website? Awesome.
Yeah. And please remember, like us
That's
and
really
follow
good.
us on all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Just search for the Get On With It podcast. And of course, all of our shows are available on YouTube as well on the Log Room channel. Remember, we go live with the video podcast on both Facebook and YouTube every Wednesday night around 7:30 Eastern time. And for those of you who just want to listen to the audio podcast, you can do so on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, TuneIn, Stitcher, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music Podcasts, and iHeartRadio as well. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe to one or more of those feeds and you'll never miss a show. Again, thanks for following along with us. Have a great rest of your week. Have a wonderful weekend, and we will talk to you next week, folks. Take care. Cheers.
By the way, my research says nobody beats the Wiz commercials into the early 90s.
Who sang the song, though?
Nobody beats the Wiz. Nobody beats the Wiz.
Biz Markie had a song called Nobody Beats the Biz.
There you go.
Mm.
So was it Biz Markie?
So is Mark Busy.
Mark Bizkey.
No. Biz Markie almost got sued because of it, I think.
Was it
But
Marky
anyway.
Mark?
Now look it up online. I've got one here with the Knicks. There's one with Johnny Franco.
Look
I
at
think
that.
it was Cool in the Gang.
They're all talking on their
Oh,
flip
it makes
phone.
sense, right? Cool and Gang, North Jersey.
Oh, there's Patrick Ewing talking to Boomer Esiason on there.
Mm.
Nobody beats the Wiz flip phone. Oh, there's Joe Namath too. They're all using Cellular One on their phones. they got from Nobody
Cellular
Beats the Wiz.
One. There you go.
They're just as bad now as they were then.
Mm-hmm.
Housebreaking wee pads with every purchase.
By the way,
That was at Petland Discounts.
I know.
They were located. They were located on
Avenue A.
Ocean Avenue and Avenue U in Brooklyn.
Avenue U, okay.
Mhm. So there you go. Gotta love it. We got to do a
Which I think
nostalgia show.
I think I drove past the other day.
Mhm.
Avenue U.
Yeah.
Cookie Puss. All right.
All right. Good night, folks.
Good night.
Bye, everybody.